Cheers.
If y'all need chairs, we'll get
I
chairs.
might need a snack.
We'll hit the buffet.
Yeah.
We're mobile. We're mobile, so we can take this. Oh my lord.
It's a double.
Oh,
I
that's
got Malibu
mine.
pineapple. Feel this straw.
What kind of
Is this
bourbon?
thing
What kind of bourbon did they get?
Woodford?
Oh, Woodford. Okay, how much?
For the double, it was 15.
Okay.
And mine for a double was 13 with Malibu. So
Not terrible.
we got a good deal.
Well, I gotta ask you two a question. As soon as
Oh, it's
As soon as your
cardboard.
mom,
she comes into focus here,
probably.
Why does it look like edible sugar?
It might be bamboo
that's weird.
because bamboo is
You try it first.
biodegradable.
I'm not gonna do it. But hey, I got you two here. Number one, state your name.
Sandy,
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Just
why they
first
don't go all
name.
crazy.
Actually, what's your YouTube name?
Red Dragon Lady.
Red Dragon Lady, and you are.
Anonymous caregiver.
There we go. And it's also your birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
But I got questions for you, and I'm gonna let you guys talk. But my question is Social Security, Social Security retirement, and retirement age, and your thoughts and your opinions being on Social Security, and when you decided to draw. You start.
Okay, so I started Social Security a year before I retired. I started at 70.
But you had plans years before the debating when you were going.
Yeah, I had planned to work until I couldn't work anymore because I liked my job. But then I didn't like my job because of my boss and the way things were changing.
How old were you when you decided you didn't like your job?
70.
Which would have been full retirement age. Full retirement age was.
I think 68 is the new full retirement. It used to be 65, then it was 66, and now I think it's 68.
And you decided to draw at what age?
62.
62. But you weren't working at 62.
Right. I had lost my job and I was working to get disability retirement.
Which is SS. You had SSDI. Did you have that?
No,
You had disability.
retirement.
Oh, you were just working to get disability.
Right,
Got
right.
it. Okay.
Right.
So, working until you decided you didn't want to anymore,
Right.
working to get disability retirement because they owed it to you.
Yes.
Two totally different ages.
Right.
Yeah.
But your benefits are full benefits.
Yeah.
And yours are
Less than full.
partial
Right.
because of
The age.
drawing early,
Right.
as early as possible.
Right.
So, pros and cons.
Well, pros, you get more money the longer you work. If you hit full retirement age, you get the top. Also, I think when you hit full retirement age and you're retired, you can earn more than if you retired early and took Social Security because you've got I think there's like a cap or something. So I could work and earn $5,000 a month and I wouldn't be penalized for it.
The longer you waited to draw, the more you can earn
Afterwards, yeah. If I wanted to go back to work, which I don't plan on it.
So I guess here's the thing though, you would work. Sort of.
I could work. I don't want to work.
But you would do something.
I could do something. I don't want to do anything. No.
If you had the ability to be on this boat or a boat and travel, would you?
And work?
Sort of.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But you would almost do it kind of like as like a volunteer type, just to be able to.
I mean, even they could pay me, but
But it wouldn't be work for you.
right, it would not be
You
work.
would do something that you just really
Like.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Would you go work? Yes, you would. Something to do with children,
Something to do with children.
or what else?
Gardening, maybe.
Definitely gardening. Something to do with gardening. If I had that hat that I keep talking about, the cool
What's
hat.
the thing you like to do? Propagate? Propagate?
Propagate is very interesting to me because it's always an interest to me to see if it's going to be effective, if it's going to be
it'll take?
successful. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you want to teach people or coach people, whether it be in caregiving or religion?
Sure. I would like to encourage people, inspire people. Yeah, that kind of thing in religion or gardening or anything to do with children. Yeah, all those things, all those areas.
Now, this is going to be a strange one because working is relative. There's air quotes on working. Relative. Because I say y'all should do just this. From time to time, you just talk to people through social media, right? But that wouldn't really feel like work.
No.
No. Why should it feel like work?
I mean, we're not working right now, are we?
Right.
No.
We're literally just sitting here talking, having a conversation,
Yeah.
and eventually we're going to upload it to YouTube
Yeah.
and let people communicate back with you or just take your story and experiences and live through it,
Exactly.
which I think can be very helpful and therapeutic.
Yeah.
But I do think that right now there's going to be a lot of questions behind the choice and decision to retire
Yeah.
and how that retirement may look. 62 versus full retirement age, whatever the age that may
Yeah.
be.
Right.
The potential early access to the money, the potential total being less down the road, having taken the retirement early versus waiting until later to get a bigger amount.
Right.
But then the the questionable uncertainty that I see floating around now is,
Yes.
well, how long will you collect? And this is all based on health and different factors. But then also, how much will there be in the pot?
Yeah.
People living longer and collecting more while people are working less, depositing less into
Yeah.
the trust fund,
Yeah.
into the pot. Do you ever think about that?
Not until after I retired. I knew how much I had in my pot, supposedly, And then, I lucked out. They did that huge cost of living increase last year.
Almost 9%, something like that, right?
Yeah. It was 7 point
So,
something, 8
so
point something, yeah.
did you feel it? Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Like, did you feel it before that, and then did you feel it?
No,
after?
I was at a comfortable rate when I retired because I retired from one job. I had already retired from another job, and I had retirement coming in from a third job. So, that one's like nothing. I don't even see that. That goes into a savings account that I never use. So, because it's like under $100.
So the cost of living adjustment for you, when you saw it, it was noticeable, but you weren't like in a position where, thank God,
No. It wasn't like, oh, now I can eat, every day instead of every other day or whatever.
It was
No.
like we watched The Martian last night, and he was like,
Yeah.
I had these rations. I could eat 3 of these every day. And then they were like, well, eat 1 of these every 3 days. It's
Yeah.
like, man, that's a
Yeah.
cut. How about you?
How about me?
Cost of living adjustment. How did you feel before? How did you feel after?
None of it really affected me that much. When I retired, per se, under conditions that I was not prepared for, but I was, because I was always a saver. I had several different categories of saving, everything from retirement funds to college funds for the children and so on and so on. I had many, many stuffed envelopes, I'll say. And so when those increases or amounts came in, it just made
Icing
it
on the
better.
cake.
It just made it better for me.
So that's really cool because you have so much to share for so many people from different perspectives of retiring, multiple retirements, and retiring early and through disability, as well as budgeting and saving and investing, and continuously being mindful of the spend and frugal, considering the direction that we are going.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah. So like to think about how many people out there would like truly want to hear your story, but then also have their own questions to help them make their choice. I think it's probably a lot.
Yeah.
So like as a blanket statement, just immediate, what comes to mind? What advice would you wish you had from your future self before you retired that you would give you, like your future self, if this video was recorded today and you were telling yourself 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however many years ago, what would you tell yourself? What advice would you give yourself knowing what you know now today?
Don't wait till after you retire to buy a house.
You bought yours after?
After I retired.
It was like right at the
no,
same
it
time.
was
It's like
the
right
year
at the same
before.
time.
The
Okay.
year before, maybe 2 years before. But I mean, at 70.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
buy
My
it
house
earlier.
Before.
Yeah.
All right. Now, it's funny you say that because let's just say you bought a house in closer to where you worked. Mm-hmm. Would that be where you would want to live when you're retired?
Not where I worked. No.
Right. But most people would consider that.
Yeah. But they would have considered it and bought it in their younger years where they would have had enough that house could be paid off, or most people pay their house off before they retire. So then they can sell it and move to where they want to live.
That's really cool. So you're telling your future you is telling younger you, buy a house before you retire.
Right.
But we know that today, buying a house at a young age is going to be very, very challenging with the cost of the houses and the higher interest rates. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a future video. And your advice for current you, for future you to, past you would be?
That's a really tough question for me. Because the future me, regarding the past me, would have done the same thing. I still would have stayed on that path of stuffing my envelopes to make sure that whatever happened, I wouldn't know everything that's coming, but always be prepared. That's my mantra.
Oh, okay.
It's always been.
So would it be fair to say that future you would tell younger you, start as soon as possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always think ahead. I'm always thinking ahead.
Yeah,
Then
look
I had
past your
children.
nose.
Yeah.
It's like car drivers. Don't look just past the hood of your car.
Right.
Look 3 cars ahead of you
Yes.
because that third car up there has a wreck. You're going to hit it if you're not paying attention.
That's why I don't like riding behind vehicles I can't see.
Exactly.
Like big box trucks
Right.
and
You
stuff.
can't even see your exit sign that way.
Yeah, I will go in the other lane and go slower. Just to get.
How many videos have you seen where the vehicle in front on the dash cam, they slam on the brakes because they weren't paying attention to something that had happened minutes, seconds before that you could have already braced for and anticipated. But instead, if you're following their brake lights, which may not work.
Exactly.
That too.
Yep. And people don't use turn signals, so you don't know where people are going. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pet peeve of mine.